is Em and Mike.
With Em and the gang, and this is our camper Hazel. We are in Wake Forest, North Carolina, and welcome to the vlog.
Well, we got the gears in to replace on the slide out, and so I'm looking at this, how to get this apart, and it looks like this gear that came as one piece, this is the broken one, is held onto this long shaft with this pin. So looks like on the back side here they've got a Allen screw that covers this hole, and in there is the pin. So now I'm going to try and use this Allen wrench and a hammer to knock that pin out, so all this will come apart, so we can put on the new stuff and be done. Here we go. Anderson and I are out here. We're going to work on the camper again, and we decided we would both film at the same time. I'm filming him, filming me, filming him. How's that, buddy? Cool?
Yep.
Alright. So here's what we're going to do. Look down here. Alright, so here is the two halves of our gearbox. And we discussed earlier. We've taken a little bit of a break because you may or may not have been noticed, but Emily has been working a lot on the inside, doing some painting. I've been re-roofing, and this was kind of on the back burner because I can manually open and close that slide fairly easily, but we want to get this done. So here is the broken gear that we had. You can see the missing teeth on it. Not sure why this camera is not focusing particularly well on this piece I'm looking at. Probably because my fingers are greasy and I touched the screen with a lens. But there's the gear. So there's a good way to see the broken teeth there on the. There we go. On the top end of the sprocket, you can see the missing teeth on the gear. And then here's the worm drive that rolled on. That is all broken on the bottom edge. You can see it's all chipped up and torn up. So, the new gear has been installed on the shaft. There's a real pain in the rump to get on and off. There's this pin right here that has to be pushed out of this hole. It goes all the way through this big shaft. That's what holds this on there in its place. So the pin has to come out. This big long shaft has to pull out, put the new gear in there, put it back in, and put a new pin in. And then on this, very similar, not as bad though. Little pin there, and had to be pushed out, new one put back in, boom, there you are, it's all done. So that's all finished, and now I'm going to reassemble all this together. I'm going to let Anderson film that so I have my hands free.
Okay.
Okay, maybe so. You know what? I'm going to let you be the cameraman.
Yeah.
Okay, so the best way to get this gear onto that shaft is to put it in here and actually screw it on to the way it works. If you'll You see that, Anderson? So if I try to push this right on, it doesn't really want to go good, right? But I can do a combination of turning this gear and turning this gear, and it'll squish kind of right on there. And now before I put this cover on, we can see this thing working. Can you see in that hole?
Yep.
Okay, so this turns, actually this turns this gear, and it slowly screws around and around and around, and makes that brass gear turn. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, scoot back now. I'm going to put this cover on, and now you'll be able to see it better. If I turn this, which is what the motor turns underneath, this part here will turn. Ready? There it goes. And this is the gear reduction. This motor turns fast, and that turns really slow. It's a 55-to-1 gear reduction, and what that does is makes the motor turn 55 times for every 1 time that turns. And what that does is transfers the power and gives it the speed from the motor to power on the torque side. Okay?
Oh my gosh, it just now got into regular zoom.
Okay.
It's not like super zoomed out right now.
Okay. Okay, so here we are. Anderson is here with me. Say hi, Anderson.
Hello.
I'm over here. I don't know if you can even see me on the camera, but that's okay. This is what we're here to look at. Again, I think you may have seen some of this before, but here is the rail that slides in and out, and this is what the kitchen area is attached to. This is the big sprocket that goes in these little slots and actually moves it. This part goes all the way to the other end and does a similar situation on that side. What we have done is taken off the gearbox, which you saw us rebuilding, which is here. This is going to come out here. I've got to turn it and get it all set up the angle correctly, but that's going to go in there, and then we're going to put the motor here onto this and put this all back together and be finished. I'm going to let Anderson hold my phone for light and just kind of film for a minute, I guess, while I do this. I will try not to curse too loud. Sound good, buddy?
Yep.
You take that.
Sounds great if you don't curse.
I don't. You know I never curse.
Sure. Like when you were fixing the spark plugs?
That's a darn lie. I know what you're talking about. Okay, so we've got to get this to fit on that. See, the angle's not right, Anderson? So I'm going to turn this until it gets close to where we need it, which is going to be about there. Got that one on nice and easy? These matching those bolt holes. Just perfect, right? But we've still got to get this piece on there. This grabs this bigger shaft. I don't know if you can see this, Anderson, or not. I will show you and show the camera at the same time.
I think it can.
Okay, so the shaft in here with that slot in it is bigger than the shaft on our gearbox. So the gearbox slides right in there, and then that clamp that I was just holding, Anderson, you aim that camera again, please, sir.
It's aimed good.
Okay. So this smaller shaft goes in the bigger shaft, and this clamp goes on from both sides. We'll take these screws out, and this goes together and clamps it on. So I'm going to do that now.
Okay.
Well, you hold the phone again.
Okay.
Okay.
You turn the flashlight back on.
Okay.
There we go.
The first thing I have to do before I do that is get these nuts on here and hold this in place. If that's not up here, it's kind of hard to do anything, right? Well, that was pretty awkward. Okay, so again, this goes up here. I've got a lock washer and a nut that goes on each one of these to hold the gearbox to this piece of channel that the gearbox all mounts to. It's a lot of fun. Luckily, I have a little practice with this kind of thing and a good helper, right, Anderson?
Yeah. Well, recording.
Well, you're a good helper.
Yeah. When I'm not recording.
Well, even when you're recording, you're sometimes a good helper. Granted, it is better when you have your hands free. Just like it is for me. It's better when I have my hands free, right?
Yeah,
You better not use that. Now this is a spot I do not like.
I hear Mom walking up above us.
Yeah, if you guys can hear that, that's a little video extra. That is Emily, or Mama, upstairs working on the painting, which she's been videoing a lot too, right, Anderson? I'm sure everybody has seen our cabinets look now. You like them better this way or the other way, Anderson?
I kind of like them the old way, but I mean, this isn't bad either.
You like the wood?
I kind of like both, but the wood did look a little better, but I think it'll make it more bright and a little better.
A little brighter, a little better?
Yeah, with the new paint.
I think that's what Mom was looking for, was a little brighter and a little better.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be thrilled with that ringing endorsement you just gave her.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a ticket.
Sure.
Okay, can you go get me a 14mm wrench?
Okie dokie, I'm gonna try and stand up this flashlight somewhere. Or not, never mind.
Here,
Ow.
give it to me.
Here.